Welcome, everybody, to Sports Wars, big game college football previews for Week 4 of college football. In the third of our big game previews, we have a game that used to be one of the biggest games in college football, but has receded as Tennessee has fallen from dominance in the SEC play. Yet, we see one of the biggest spreads since the last time Tennessee pulled a shocking upset in the Swamp, which was back in 2001 when they went in as 18 to 19-point underdogs and pulled the straight-up victory. This Tennessee team is not comparable to that Tennessee team, but it's an interesting historical reference by margins. Indeed, Dan Mullen, during his SEC tenure both at Mississippi State and Florida, has a losing record against the spread when favored by 3 scores or more in conference play. By contrast, Josh Heupel in his young college career has a winning record as an underdog coach. So we'll see that Tennessee goes in as 19-point underdogs into the Swamp, expected to lose by a score of about 41 to 22 or thereabouts, depending on where you get it in Vegas. Tennessee is something like 8-1 to win as an underdog, and Florida is something like 12-1 as a favorite to win straight up. Florida's coming off a very impressive performance against Alabama, even though it started out bad against the Rolling Tide, as the Tide came in and went up 21-3 after the first quarter, but then Florida was just a missed extra point or a successful 2-point conversion away from going to overtime by game's end. Emory Jones played well despite the controversy and given his very talented backup there in Gainesville. And the defense, which was the main thing a lot of people were looking at, was much improved over last season. It looked like a good defense back in Gainesville in the Swamp, and a running game that was very effective against what was supposed to be a very talented Alabama defense. So Tennessee comes in with a kind of quarterback controversy, though if you look behind the stat sheet, it's hard to see why, since Hendon Hooker has way outperformed Joe Milton, who was very mediocre in the game and a half that he played compared to the game and a half that Hendon Hooker has played. Yet the Josh Heupel explosive offense that was expected from his UCF days has not yet shown up in Knoxville, and it's not clear whether it will travel down to Gainesville in the Swamp. However, Tennessee's defense has so far overperformed and overachieved its expectations under the new defensive coordinator from Penn State, where he had also had success and had success prior at Cincinnati. And the talent disparity would suggest a score differential of something around 2 touchdowns, more than 3 touchdowns. But we will see. If you want more free football picks and predictions against the line all year long, you can go to sportspicks.locals.com. And if you want more valuable insight and content like you're getting right now here at Sports Wars, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, thanks, everybody.